Thank you so much for joining in for today's workshop. We're doing one-on-one coaching using private notes. In our workshop overview, we're going to go through using private notes to create a one-on-one coaching program. You'll see this portal from both the user experience that has booked and paid for sessions and also from the admin view as well. Next, we'll dive into your coaching program details, important pieces to consider when you're creating your very own one-on-one coaching portal. Then we will dive into the coaching portal build. You'll see how to build the welcome page, notes page, replays page, and then we'll wrap up with selling coaching sessions on how you're using your AccessAlly order forms to sell single or multiple session packages. In our workshop overview, we're going to display the number of coaching sessions someone has. There will be no cap on how many they can purchase again in the future. These sessions will be tracked as points. Then you'll also see the process of booking a session, so how a customer goes to your external scheduling tool like Calendly, for example, to a booking page. And then once they have booked their session, how the button gets hidden so that they have no sessions available and how they can purchase additional sessions. Then we will also dive into the notes page for pre-session questions, as well as seeing the replay process for sending a unique replay to your coaching session client after their call has been held. So let's go ahead and get started with our workshop overview tour. Here is Bob. Bob has participated in a challenge on my site in the past, and now Bob is thinking about booking a one-on-one coaching session with me. So for Bob's view, you're going to see an image of a cute little crochet stuffed animal in the top corner. So this is Bob. And I'm going to go ahead and click on one-on-one coaching session. And I'm presented with two options as Bob. I can get a single session or I can purchase a session package. So I'm going to start off with a single session, click next, and complete the process of ordering a session. I'll go ahead and agree to the terms and conditions, and now Bob has purchased a coaching session. Bob has one coaching session available and can go ahead and click the Schedule Session button to schedule his session. Bob will grab a time and schedule the session. Now that Bob has scheduled a session, he'll be redirected back to the next part, which is the pre-session questions. And Bob can share what he'd like to focus on during his call. Now, Bob can also see the call replay section, but he hasn't had his call yet, so the replay is not quite yet available. Now we're going to switch over to the view of the admin, in this case me, who is the coach that's doing Bob's call. So let's go ahead and switch over now. So I'm going to share a resource with Bob from my protected content section of my site, and I'm going to share this weekly overview. So I'm going to look and double check to make sure that Bob can see this based on tags. So I need to make sure that the coaching notes section is available and Bob can see this. So that's using the tag in AccessAlly that controls this offering. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the link and I'm going to come to the private notes section here. And with this private note, Bob's note is going to pop right up at the top because it is the most recent note. So I'm going to reply and just share that I see that Bob is ready for his coaching session and to share this resource to help Bob. I can go ahead and link out to the resource. And save the note. Now we're going to have our call with Bob Yay. And we're going to post our replay. The replay has been stored in Vimeo, and now I'm just going to add this replay to Bob under the coaching call replay section. So as the site admin, I would go to the private notes section again, and I would choose initiate and send Bob his replay. I'm going to create a note. I'm going to find Bob and click Add Note, and I'm going to send Bob the replay. For this part, I'm going to embed the replay right into the private note. So I've just selected Enable HTML code, and I'm going to go ahead and click Save to save the note. I also dated it because I'm going to be storing a lot of call replays, hopefully in the future for Bob. This way he'll be able to find them all in one place. And now that we have sent Bob's call replay after his session, our last step is to go ahead and mark his session as finished and reduce the number of sessions by 1. So let's go ahead and do that step now. We're going to go to the AccessAlly members panel. I'm going to find Bob, select Bob, and run an action. And for this action, I'm going to run a custom operation to decrease his number of sessions by 1 and mark his session complete. Perfect. We'll go ahead and close this out. And now we're going to switch back to the view of Bob, and we're going to review Bob's coaching call replay, and so he can see the process for purchasing additional sessions in the future if he would like. So here we are back in Bob's panel, and we'll click on our one-on-one coaching session. And now we can see that as Bob, he doesn't have any sessions available. He can purchase additional sessions in 1 or 4 section packages if he would like. I'm going to go ahead and purchase 4 sessions this time. Once the 4 sessions are purchased, Bob's coaching call count goes back up, and he can go ahead and schedule sessions, just like he did in the beginning. But let's visit his coaching call notes. You can see that now he can share what he wants to focus on during his next session, and his next, and his next. So this will continue to allow Bob to share his focus before each call. And Bob can see his call replays right here under the call replays page. And as he has more coaching calls, his replays will continue to populate below his first one. So this way you can create one place and pull everything that Bob needs for his coaching sessions. And you can also sell your coaching sessions in the same way to Sally or Jane or Miranda or anyone else who visits and purchases sessions with you inside this coaching portal. Now it's time to focus in on the coaching program details that you would like to add to your one-on-one coaching program. It's important to think through these things before you build it in AccessAlly, just to ensure you have everything you need and a solid plan for what you're trying to create. So questions you can ask yourself before building would be things like, what would you like in your coaching program? How will your coaching program expand as the number of sessions increases? So it's really important to think through as a person visiting a page. So for example, right now, Bob in our example only had his first session and was getting ready to book his second session. But if he had 40 sessions over time, how might that expand or need to be changed in the future as the number of sessions Bob has grows? So these are all things you want to think about when people are visiting the pages on your site. How many calls are they seeing at one time? Do you need separate places for notes and additional sessions? How would you like to structure the inside of your offering in AccessAlly? So for right now, because I'm a new coach and this is the first time I've offered one-on-one coaching sessions, I'm going to start very simple by creating a place where all the replays and all the notes are stored in one section. This makes it easier for me to build, but I can also think about what that might look like in the future if Bob books 40 sessions with me too. The next thing to ask yourself is, what would you like to track? Right now, the only thing that I'm tracking for Bob is the number of sessions and when those sessions have occurred. So I'm not using right now any private note objective types or any AccessAlly objectives, but I could build those out and use those if I would like to. So it's an option, but for right now I'm keeping it very simple to start. Also thinking through the manual steps. As a coach, what are the manual steps that you will have to do every time someone books a session with you? So right now, the manual steps would be replying to the focus question, the pre-session question, and letting the participant know that I've received their focus for the next call session, and sending a reply with resources if I want to. And then the other pieces that I'm tracking manually would be having the session inside Zoom and then adding the replay to a tool like Vimeo, and then decreasing the count for the sessions after the session has occurred, and then manually posting that client's replay. So those are my manual steps. Now it's time to build out the coaching portal, and we're going to build to what I've created for the workshop overview. This is not the only way that you can build a one-on-one coaching portal, but this way includes all the bits and pieces that I covered in my overview. So everything from ordering the number of sessions you would like, all the way through to delivering the coaching results from that package. So we'll be using a few different features inside AccessAlly. Private notes is just one of the things that we're using. Other things we're using inside this build will be custom fields to store the number of sessions that the participant has. We'll also have custom operations controlling the increasing in numbers of sessions or the decrease in numbers of sessions based on where that customer is at in their journey. We'll also cover the offering welcome page setup, the notes page setup using custom private notes, and then the replays page setup, which will also use the custom private note type. So let's go ahead and dive into the first part of this build so you can see how it was created in AccessAlly. The first step in our process today is going to be to create a custom field to store the number of sessions. If you're using a CRM system, you will create this custom field inside your CRM system. If you are using AccessAlly managed contacts like me, you'll create this custom field inside AccessAlly. So based on how you've integrated AccessAlly with or without a CRM system, remember your custom field is the first part of this process. So for me, because I'm in AccessAlly Managed Contacts, I will go to Settings and choose Custom Fields. Click plus New Field to create a new custom field, and then you're going to name it so that you remember what it's used for. This is going to be for my one-on-one coaching sessions, and I've set it to plain text with a default value of 0. Once you've created your custom field, either in your CRM or in AccessAlly Managed Contacts, click Save. Now that we've created our custom field, our second step is to create the custom operations that will manage the number of sessions a person has through an increase or a decrease. So for me, with my sessions, there are two ways that I'm selling sessions right now. I am selling a single session package where they get one session, and I'm selling a section with 4 sessions in that package. So if you have multiple ways that you will sell your sessions, either by one or by a specific number in a package, you're going to build a custom operation to increase by each of those. So with custom operations, you're going to click plus new operation for each new number that they will have. So for me, I have 2. So the first one is going to be the custom operation for the single coaching session package. This is going to increase the field value of my custom field that I just created by 1 session. So that is for the single session package. For the 4 session package, I'm going to increase the field value of the custom field I created for my sessions by 4. So this way, if they purchase 1 session, it'll go up by 1. If they purchase 4, it will go up by 4. The important thing to note is this is tracked in the same custom field. So we're using one custom field to manage all of our increases and all of our session decreases as well. So now that we have our custom operations for our increases, our next step is to create our decrease operation. This is what I call the one-on-one session complete. What it will do is decrease the field value of the one-on-one coaching sessions by 1 session. This allows the field to be reduced once the person's session has been completed. And this part is a manual step that you create in the Members tab in AccessAlly. So after you post the replay, you manually run this custom operation to decrease the session count by 1. We do this after the session versus before in an automated way because you never know when someone might cancel a session or reschedule a session. This way you're not deducting it before the session has physically occurred. So now that we have our decrease field value by 1 and our increases by the number of packages that we have, now it's time to move into our next step. For our next step, we need to create a new offering inside AccessAlly to hold our coaching session packages. We're going to go to Offerings and click Plus New to create a new offering. You can structure this offering however works best for you. I recommend for flexibility in being able to change over time as people might book multiple sessions with you, that you use the drip release course option. This gives you the flexibility to have unique modules for the different sections inside your coaching program, which also allows you to create this very simple to start, but eventually you may choose to use different modules for each session they book. So this option allows for the most flexibility, either all access to everything, or you could drip things based on the number of sessions in the future. So when you use this template, you're going to structure it to have the following pages if you're following right along and doing exactly my setup. But of course, this is not the only way. You get to choose how you build in AccessAlly. This is just one example to get the ideas going for you. So here inside my coaching sessions, I have the content tab with 3 parts. The first is our welcome base module called Coaching Call, and that one is followed by a unique module called Coaching Notes with a single page for coaching notes, followed by another unique module in AccessAlly called Call Replays with a page called Call Replays. I have went ahead and set this to release everything immediately when they make their purchase of a coaching call session. That way they can see everything along the path. And now we're going to talk about what's on each of these pages. We'll start with our coaching call page. To edit your coaching call page, just go ahead and click the brush, and that will take you to the content on the page. Now this page is the most complex of the build, so we're going to take this one part at a time. First, you're going to come to the bottom of the page, and you can add progress tracking here if you would like. Me personally, I'm not using progress tracking, but I wanted to show you what that might look like if you're using it within this offering. You can set it to offering and track all posts inside your coaching call section. Now we're going to come back up to the top of the page and we're going to look at what we have on this page. So for reference, let's look back at the build and let's look at the coaching call page and what it looks like. Right now it has hi and it welcomes the person by first name. Then we have a section that shows the number of sessions that they currently have. We have a button to schedule sessions. And if they have no sessions, we have an alternate view that shows the buttons to purchase additional sessions. So we're going to build all of this into this page. Here in our Edit Page section, we're going to use the AccessAlly shortcode generator to build the parts of the page. For the hi, we're just using hi typed in as a heading on the page. Then we're scrolling down in the shortcode generator to the first name section, and then clicking generate shortcode. We'll copy this and then paste it right into the spot on the page. Once you paste that in, we're going to move to our next spot. Here I just typed a little text and it says you have, and then it's running a custom field value to show the number of sessions. Remember, you're storing your sessions based on the custom field that you created, but it's actually using your operation to increase the field value. So if you have multiple session packages, as long as you've linked everything to the same custom field, it does not matter which option you choose here. But I'm going to use the single session package to track the number of sessions. This will change no matter how many they have, but our goal is just to display the value of that number here. So to do this, you're going to go to your shortcode generator. You're going to scroll down until you see custom field value for operation and click on it. Next, you're going to select your operation that increases your coaching calls. So I'm going to go ahead and select my one-on-one session, my single package, click generate shortcode. Then I would copy this and paste it right here. Once you've pasted that into your page, you can finish it off with coaching sessions available or any wording that works right for you. Remember, that is for this piece right here. Now we're going to look at our second part of this. And this part is going to be based on a few things that we don't yet have. So this part, when you're building out your offering and you're creating your pieces, you want to make sure that you have created inside your offering order forms for all of your payment plan options. So right here under the paid access forms, I've created 2 one-time payments, one for a single call and one for a package of 4 calls. I've also built a toggle inside AccessAlly. That toggle is displaying both options, the single and the session package. So let's take a look at that piece again, just so that we can see it as a reminder of what it looks like. And I'm going to view this in an incognito window. So here on our coaching call order toggle, we have our single session priced at $100, and then we have our package with 4 sessions. So I've just built these as 2 order forms inside my coaching session offering. So once you have your order forms and your toggle created, we'll bump back over to our page so that we can see how this is added in. I have a bit of text with the pricing of these options. That's because this is delivered as a one-click upsell button, so it's important when using a button to let people know how much they're spending before they click the button. So I've got purchase a single session for $100 or a 4-session package for $375. Just remember, this is an example. You can have as many sessions in here as you want, whatever works right for your packages and your way of selling coaching. So I've added a little placeholder text. Right above that text, though, what I'm doing is I'm looking to see when my custom field value for the coaching calls hits 0. So you're adding in, using the AccessAlly shortcode generator, an option that says conditional custom field value. And you're adding your session field, and you're saying display the content here if this field is equal to or greater than 0. So first I'm going to put, if it's equal to 0, I'm going to generate my shortcode, and this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to put the first part of my shortcode here, and I'm going to take the last part and save it for a bit. So I'm going to say when it equals 0, then I'm going to put the shortcode from the AccessAlly shortcode generator for my order form for a single session. So let's grab the order form shortcode, and this is going to be for a single session, which is right here. And I'm going to go ahead and add that to the page. So I would just generate my shortcode, paste it right in. I would do the same thing, grab the shortcode for any additional packages. This way they can see the buttons, because remember, the toggle is before they become a customer with your sessions. After that, they need to see both options so they can make their choice. So once I've added all of my options, I'm going to close out the shortcode by using the end of the conditional, and then I'll move on to the next section. The next section of this page, if we look here, is going to be the Schedule Session button. What I want is if they have more than 0 sessions, this button appears. This button is hidden if they don't have any sessions, so they can't schedule if they don't have sessions available. So back to our shortcode generator, we're going to use our custom field value again, and this time it's going to be set to if they have more than 0. So we'll use our AccessAlly shortcode generator, and we're going to scroll down until we get to conditional custom field value, one-on-one coaching sessions, equal to is going to be wrong. What we want here is greater than 0. So if they have more than 0, we'll generate our shortcode, we'll copy it, we'll start the first part here, we'll copy the second part and save it for a bit. Then we would add our button to click to the scheduling calendar for the scheduling sessions. So here I've added a button in Gutenberg that goes to my calendar in Calendly. Then next I'm going to end my shortcode here. So now I have my section on the page for if they have more than 0 sessions, show the booking link. And if you're using AccessAlly objectives for your coaching packages, you could add a AccessAlly objective here. I'm not using these, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And then you click Update. So now you have created everything you need for the welcome page, which is the session booking page. So now our session booking page is complete. Now it's time to move to the next page in this process. Our next page is going to be located in our AccessAlly offering. When we click on the content section here and scroll to the next page type, our next page type is holding the pre-session notes. This way your participant can ask questions or share what they'd like to focus on. So we're going to go ahead and click the brush to edit this page, and we're going to look at how it's built. This page is very simple. It's basically just a heading that says pre-session questions and then a private note to put their questions. So we'll start by building at the bottom of the page using the private notes section. Note the number of your note here. Mine is number 2. Yours will most likely be number 1. You're going to name it something descriptive so you can remember what it's called. And then you're going to share some information. And I just simply put, what would you like to focus on during your coaching call? This is guiding them to the steps you want them to take before their call. For the settings for this, you're going to set it to custom. You're going to make sure that admin initiated is not checked here, and require admin approval is not checked here. And I've left this set to -1 for the number of replies. This way, no matter how many sessions Bob books over time, he can continue to ask pre-session questions. This part's really important. If you build it out 1 session, 1 question, then you need a new page for each session. This way I can have an ongoing session because -1 will always allow Bob to come back and ask his next question. Now that I've built my private note, my next spot on the page is adding it to the page. So I'd add my heading with a little bit of information. Then I would use my AccessAlly shortcode generator to grab my shortcode from my private note. That's going to be up at the top of the page under private note, and you'll see that it will automatically grab your note, and then you just click generate shortcode, copy your shortcode, and paste it right into the page. Then click update. Once you do that, you can view your page and you will see your private note is here and ready to be used. Now it's time to build the last page inside the coaching portal. This page is for the call replays. You'll note that I have this set to release this module immediately in the timer in AccessAlly, and if I click the brush, I can edit this page. Now this page follows a very similar format to our notes page. It's going to be a place for call replays and resources. So we're going to scroll down to the bottom of our page, and we'll start by using the private note feature to create a private note. Make sure you give this a descriptive name so you'll be able to find it later on. And you're going to add some context. Now for this one, this note type does not send the customer an email when the note has been filled out by an admin. So it's important that you let the coaching client know when to visit this page again. So I put your replays and resources will be available here by next business day. That way, after my call with Bob, I can upload the replay to Vimeo, grab the embed code, and send the replay to Bob and mark his session as being decreased by 1, and then he will know to come here the next day if he'd like to look at his replay. So then our next part here is going to be the settings for this note. You're going to set this to custom, make sure admin initiated is checked, and then you can leave this set to 0. This will allow you to continue to add replays here, and Bob is not able to use this private note at all. So it's read only. Bob will see his replays here. So let's go ahead and save our changes on this page. So you can just click Update to save. Now it's time to add the information to this page. You just type in your favorite heading, and then we're going to use the AccessAlly shortcode generator to grab our private note. So you're going to select private note from your drop-down. It'll be set to the current post and it'll show your private note. Click Generate Shortcode and then copy and paste it right in. Once you have that step, click Update to save your changes, then view your page to make sure you can see your private note. Now it's time to work on our order forms so that we can bring all the parts of the coaching sessions into the right format so that once they buy, their sessions increase, and then after their session, you'll be able to manually decrease them. So let's go ahead and go back into our offering. Under our offering for our coaching packages, we're going to click on Forms, and then you will see the order forms that you have created. We're going to go ahead and click by the first one. This is my 1 session package. Under pricing, you can set the pricing for whatever that should be for your single session. Then under automation, you are going to add the custom operation to increase the sessions. We created this at the very beginning in the first step of the build. So right here, you're going to click on perform the following custom operation, and you're going to type in session, and you're going to find the one for your one-on-one single session package. Once you add that, it's going to increase the session count by 1 when they check out on this order form. Now we're going to set the part for ordering as a one-click upsell. This next part will work for the button that's displayed on the page when they run out of sessions. See how if I have 0 sessions, it's showing me the buy a session button or buy 4 and the pricing. This is what we're creating now, where they can buy the 1 or buy the 4 from here as a one-click button. So we're going to go back into our site. We're going to go back to our offering. From here, we will find our coaching program offering, and we'll look at forms. Click on the button by the first form, and then click on automation. This should be set up with the number of increase. Now we're going to click on the order form section, and right here we're going to enable one-click order form. We're going to show only a confirmation button, and we're going to put text. You will be charged this amount for a single session, and then we're going to put 1 session. We're going to click save right here, and now we're going to do our second one. So we'll go back to our offering. We'll click our second package. We're going to set up our pricing. This is for our 4 sessions. Under automation, we're going to add our automation to increase the count by 4 or your desired number. So here is my one for 4 sessions. It increases by 4. And then I'm going to go to order form, and I'm going to go enable one-click order form, only a confirmation button. Here's how much you'll be charged, and this is what you're getting. So let's also take a look at payment success. This part is going to redirect someone right back to the coaching sessions. So this will redirect them here after they make their purchase. So in order to do that, you can grab your link directly to your coaching call and paste it right in. Then click Save. You can do that for this one and also for your single session package too. Under Payment Success, go ahead and send them to the page with your coaching call. All right, so now we have created all of the pieces and you have everything that you need to deliver your one-on-one coaching program from start to finish. Just remember, after the person books their session, you reply to their note by going to the private notes section inside the site. You'll go to AccessAlly, private notes. You'll look under respond to find the session question that they've sent in that you can reply to let them know that you're excited about their session and that you know what they want to focus on. And just remember, when it's time to send the replay, you're going to click Initiate. You're going to select the page that has your replays, create notes, select the person that is going to get the replay, click Add a Note. And this, if this is Bob's second call, you can go ahead and make space for that next replay and add your replay right in. And this time, if you want to send a link, sometimes sending a link is great if you have a lot of calls. That way you don't have to keep revising your page. So you could put call replay, and then you could put something like, I'll put click here. And this way, you will have a little section where if you're not embedding them, this is better if you have lots and lots of calls. You can go ahead and add your link and then go ahead and click Save. And now the next time Bob logs in, he would see the option to click and watch his call. So then the last piece is, once Bob has had his call, remember you're going to go to AccessAlly, Members. You're going to find the person, select them, run an action, and you're going to run a custom operation to decrease the session count by 1. So for me, that's called session complete, and then I would just put the date right here and go ahead and run that action. And those are your steps to creating your first coaching program using private notes with AccessAlly.
Thank you so much for watching this workshop. Visit our knowledge base anytime at kb.accessally.com.